water bills unexpectedly. They could cause property damage. They're sabotaging. A lot of these companies have ESG initiatives, and they're implementing. They put in a low flow toilet. They think they're doing. They think they're doing a great job. Problem is, if your low flow toilet's leaking, it's not low flow. And we're finding that about 70% of them are not set properly, and so they're still flushing at very high rates.
Susan, H2O connected. I was reading this morning, Caesar's Palace saved 30 million gallons of water just implementing a towel reuse program. So just think what your products, the Leak Alerter 6000 and the Leak Alerter Pro could do. I love those names.
Well, it says what it does. And when we develop products, we always like the name to say what it does. And boy, we could save Caesars a lot of water, believe me.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, even EPA says that 20% of toilets in this country are leaking at any one time, right? We have 330 million tank toilets between the US and Canada. Fun fact for today.
Yeah.
They're all going to leak, run, and overflow at some point. And until we came along, there really wasn't an accurate, reliable, automatic way to know when your toilets are leaking and which ones are the biggest offenders and what the problem is and how much it's costing you. And
Right.
here we are to solve that problem.
And water is expensive.
It can be. It depends on where you are in the country. Some municipalities actually subsidize water through property taxes, and so it doesn't appear expensive. Out here in right outside of Philadelphia, it's about $38 per thousand gallons. Same thing in Portland, Seattle, down in Georgia. It's very expensive. So it's getting more and more expensive. And remember, it's not just your water; it's water and sewer as well. So you're paying water in and you're paying water out. So
Right.
it
Right.
can be very expensive.
So your website says uh, you can accurately and reliably detect and measure water loss. So in
Correct.
in in your words, tell us what problem you set out to solve.
Well, as I mentioned, all toilets are going to leak, run, and overflow. They're going to run up water bills unexpectedly. They could cause property damage. They're sabotaging. A lot of these companies have ESG initiatives, and they're implementing. They put in a low flow toilet. They think they're doing. They think they're doing a great job. Problem is, if your low flow toilet's leaking, it's not low flow. And we're finding that about 70% of them are not set properly. And so they're still flushing at very high rates, like 2.5 to 3.5 gallons, twice what they should be. So we're trying to help people save water. Only 1% of the world's water supply is available for potable use, and we're using it faster than it's being replenished. So we're trying to we want to conserve water and be wise, help people be wise water stewards. But we also want to help both homeowners and property managers, apartment owners and hotels and student housing, senior housing, those folks be able to boost their bottom line by eliminating water waste. It's costing them money. So if you think of a hotel, for instance, a lot of them have already invested in smart lights and a smart temperature. They're not washing their towels every day if their guests are, choose that option. But how else? So they've negotiated down their costs of shampoos and towels and sheets. So how do they continue to boost that bottom line? And we can do that through smart water management and finding the toilet is the number one cause of water waste in a home or a building, any building. So, if we can eliminate or greatly reduce that water waste by identifying where it's happening, where that water waste is occurring, which toilet. If you have 300 or 400 toilets, you think you may have a problem, and you do, but which one is it? And then it can tell you the amount of water that each toilet is wasting, what that's costing you, so that you can you can decide which toilets do you fix first, which are your primary offenders. And we can also tell you exactly what the problem is. Is it the flapper that's leaking? Is it the fill valve that's not functioning properly? Is it both? Is it the chain has hung up or the flopper's open and it's a running toilet at 4.5 to 5.5 gallons per minute? I mean, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with the toilet, and we can differentiate, quantify, alert to all of those things. Because remember, a leaking toilet, most of the time, there's no water on the floor, so it's
Right.
not obvious. And
Right.
until we came along, most people wouldn't know that they've got these issues because you can't tell.
So
So,
just
and it,
yeah,
yeah.
describe for us. Why don't you describe the Leak Alerter Pro, because that's
Okay.
the wireless unit that was probably you find in like a hotel, right?
Exactly. Yes, we
Describe
have
for
a
us that unit.
device. I don't know if I can show it here, but
Oh, you've got one.
yes, we have show and tell. So this is a device. It's got the sensors, and it's got the top enclosure, and it goes inside the toilet tank, so you never have to worry about a guest thinking there's a camera, a recording device, or anything like that. So it goes inside the tank, completely invisible to the guest. It takes seconds to install. You literally lift the tank lid, you hang. It's got a little oops, this way,
Mhm.
on the back of the device. It hangs on the back wall of the toilet tank. You put the tank lid on, flush the toilet, you're done. That's all the install you have to do. There's no unscrewing the water line. There's no setup on a computer where you have to get something. So it will sense water, and we have our own gateway, just like your internet provider has a gateway. We have our own. And that also takes just less than a minute to install. Just screw it into the wall, plug it in, you're done. So, and you only need one gateway usually per building. So it's not like something has to be in every guest room, but that goes into a service closet or an office or a place like that. And then when our devices go in the toilet, it senses water, it wakes up, and it handshakes to the gateway and starts to monitor the rise and fall of the water height in the toilet. So it can differentiate between all the different ways water is coming in and out of the tank, and equate those to whether the toilet's functioning properly or whether there's an issue. And then if there's an alert, what we call a priority event, which is something needs to be fixed right away, like a running toilet or a potential overflow, it has the capability. It can send a text message to maintenance personnel or front desk or whoever the property manager wants to get that alert, and then so that they know to address that right away. And then all the other issues plus the priority events are also um, reported on a dashboard. So we have a dashboard that gives water usage analytics, that shows not only the volume per flush, so that's your intended water usage where you're flushing the toilet, and then it also shows all the usage for unintended, which is everything else. And then we send work orders every Tuesday to, again, whoever the hotel wants to receive them, whether it's maintenance or whether it's the manager, that will show which toilets are wasting water, what the problem is, and what the severity is, so they know what to address, even if they haven't had time to look at the dashboard that week. So it's really a very easy. It's designed to make maintenance incredibly efficient, because
Yeah.
it's great if you're saving water, but if you're running up your labor costs on maintenance, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we want to make labor extremely efficient. The device, not only does the dashboard say what the problem is, but when they lift the tank, I don't know if you can see this, you can
Yeah.
see that it has different LED lights that will flash that will also confirm to the maintenance personnel what the problem is and what needs to be fixed. So
Wow.
again, it's just meant to make everybody very, very efficient and to boost the bottom line of our clients.
Yeah, I've never received a text from a toilet.
You can.
Will you send me one?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, our clients just love it. We're able to interesting story, that one of the first hotels we have as a client, um, we we installed it, in their building, and almost immediately we can see what's going on as well as the client can see what's going on. And we saw that there was an event where room 431 had a running toilet, and it was wasting water at almost 5.5 gallons per minute. And so this was early. This was a nearby hotel. So my business partner, who's the head engineer, went running across the parking lot just to check it out, right? And sure enough, housekeeping had just turned over the room, and the last thing they do before they leave is flush the toilet. And she left, and never occurred to her that it wouldn't shut off. And so it was running, and they did not rent that room for 4 days. So had they not had a leak alerter, they would have wasted 28,000 gallons of water, and it would have added almost $400 to their water bill. Just that one event.
Wow.
So and we've seen that's not an unusual occurrence, especially with hotels where, rooms may go for days without being used.
Right.
Hopefully not, but you
Yeah.
just don't know.
Well, so what kind of feedback are you getting from your clients?
Well, we're getting repeat business, so we know they're happy. A lot of them are very surprised at how much water they're wasting. You
Yeah.
know, they and a lot of folks who've been in property management, whether it's apartments or hotels or whatever, they instinctively know they probably have toilets that are issues. They just don't realize how many and how much and where they are. One of the big eye openers is the amount of toilets, ultra low flow toilets that aren't set properly.
Mm.
So we've had them as much as 85% of a building has toilets that are low flow, but still flushing at almost 3 gallons because the components aren't set right. So part of what our system tells you on the dashboard is how many inches to adjust the fill valve down to bring that flush volume back into what the toilet is optimally can is used for. How much volume it should use, and then they're saving water with every flush. So it may only be a gallon here per flush, but over a period of time, especially if you have hundreds of toilets, that really adds up. And so many hotels now have, they're trying to have bold ESG initiatives that include water savings, and this is because we can quantify every drop of water that goes through a toilet. We can help them quantify, what they're saving and help them meet their ESG initiative. um, little known fact that I didn't realize till recently is that 10% of the greenhouse gases in this nation come from water usage.
Hmm.
So, because again, we can quantify how much water is being saved and how much water is being wasted, we can help them calculate their greenhouse gas savings through fixing their toilet leaks.
Well, Susan,
So it's
yeah, that's fascinating. This is this whole product is fact. You've created a whole new category. I mean, this is
we
very,
have.
yeah, smart. This is smart water management for sure.
And
I
you
don't
know
know.
what's great about it? It's really not that expensive, right? Most of our hotels and apartment owners are finding they can be cash flow positive on the device within a year to 18 months, depending on where they are in the country and the cost of their water. And so it doesn't take 5, 10 years to get your return on your investment.
Right.
And the other thing is it doesn't have to change behavior, because so many of our conservation initiatives require a change in behavior, and people don't like to change behavior.
Right.
So this doesn't require a change in behavior.
Yeah. Well, this is
So it's
fantastic. Yeah.
it's really we're very, very, very excited. It's made in the USA, so it's a
Yeah.
100% made in the USA product, which we're very, very proud of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you for spending time with me. This is great.
Oh, well, thank you. I always appreciate the opportunity to talk about my business and the products that we've developed, because
Okay.
of course we're very proud of them. And anytime you can help save the environment, create
Yeah.
jobs, improve quality of life, and take advantage of technology, it's a win-win-win. And we're
Yeah.
also located in a qualified opportunity zone, so we're hiring, helping to turn around the high unemployment statistics in our little city. So we're happy
Fantastic.
to have a social impact as well.
Fantastic. Good job. Keep it up. I look forward to watching you guys grow.
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody who needs to have wise water stewardship through toilets, send them my way.
I will do it. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you.